What is this, my second video in a day? It's almost like I'm a YouTuber again. What, it's my third video in a week? Oh my god. If you don't like these rambling videos, if you don't like the personal life stuff, I understand. The last two videos were gaming videos, so if you're seeing this in your feed and you don't want to watch this, go check out the channel. There's plenty of gaming content coming, as well as posted recently. I wanted to talk in this video about getting back into therapy. And I know for a lot of people, you're resistant to therapy, you don't like it, you don't think it'll help you. I was that person for a really, really long time. But I have been in and out of therapy for the majority of my life, and I know a lot of people are going to point their finger and laugh and say, Boogie, you're an unmitigated disaster. So if you're in therapy, clearly it doesn't work. And to that I say, it has worked. And the way that you know it has worked is because I'm still breathing, man. I'm still above ground. It's a damn miracle, honestly, with all the things I've gone through and the way I felt in the past. If it wasn't for having somebody in my corner, someone to listen, if it wasn't for the medications that I take, I think it's a miracle I'm still here. And I truly think therapy is what kept me here. Medication's really weird because if you get the wrong one, and it's very easy to get the wrong one, it's going to make things worse and not better. I experienced that early on with like early Prozac derivatives in the 90s. And it wasn't until 2019 we finally found one that works for me, and that's sertraline, which is Zoloft. And then recently, with this new therapist, we've added Wellbutrin to it. And a lot of the side effects I was getting from Zoloft have been taken away by Wellbutrin, and I'm feeling like happier and more motivated and less hungry. Wow, that's a big one. I'm still eating everything in sight because, you know, I'm an idiot, but I feel less inclined to do so, so I'm probably eating less of it. Likewise, finding the same therapist is a real crapshoot. If you get the wrong therapist, not only do you waste time, not only do you waste money, but it can make things worse for a little while. And that's a risky thing to do. You have to treat going to therapy like dating. You really do. As soon as you see a red flag, as soon as you realize you're not compatible, you got to get out of there and you got to find someone that is compatible. Otherwise, you're just going to be miserable. They're going to be miserable too. You can't be afraid to walk away from a therapist to find someone who fits you better. I'm pretty excited about my current therapist because I get to see their degree, I get to see their history, I get to see their current work, I get to know everything about them. And with that, I'm really surprised at what a good match it was, because they currently, besides doing their therapy, they also work with children who have been abused and adults who were abused children. So, I mean, it's just like a really good match. And I feel like I got really lucky. Now, as usual, I want to temper expectations. This isn't a magic bullet. It isn't a silver bullet, okay? This is like going to the gym, but except for my brain, it's going to get better slowly, and it won't get better at all if I don't do the work. And we all know how lazy I am. So temper your expectations. Don't expect me to make a huge turnaround in the next 60 days, 90 days, by the end of the year. I don't expect that. You shouldn't expect that. But I would like to see some steady improvement along that line, and I hope that we do. Because it's something else I always talk about when it comes to therapy is you got to do the work, right? Like you do that hour session maybe once or twice a week, and that's work. But you got to do the work outside of that as well. You got to practice everything you've learned. You got to come up with things you want to talk about next time. You have to be very active in it. The same way you got to be active every day if you're trying to fix your body, right? It's not fun. It sucks. I'm not very good at self-care and self-maintenance. Like, obviously, look at my beard right now. Look at my hair right now. I'm not very good at self-care, but when I'm motivated, and I am motivated to getting better here, I can get some of it done. My hair's still going to look like shit, though. But there are two major things that prompted this video. The first of which is the fact that for the longest time, even after my divorce, I was pretty resistant to therapy. I was doing it, I was going through the motions, but I wasn't really doing the work. I was mostly just venting once a week, and that was useful, it was helpful, but it didn't fix anything. Nothing was going to get fixed doing that. And when I was young, I was just an angry, bitter person, and I wanted to stay angry. I wanted to stay bitter. I wanted to stay hurt. I don't know why. That just felt like who I was. I had no clue that there was I had no clue there was forgiveness in my heart. I had no clue that there was a future where I loved other people and cared about other people and wanted to help other people. 16-year-old me just was so angry, so hurt. very distant from who I am today. So I guess I must have done a lot more work than I give myself credit for. A big part of doing the work for me has been reading self-help books, going online and finding incredible YouTubers. Healthy Gamer is a great choice. If you're not watching him, you might really benefit from his videos. Katie Morton is another great choice, somebody that I go to all the time. It's fascinating what they give away in their videos, right? Obviously, it's never going to be the same as one-on-one therapy. It's never going to be the same as medication. But if you don't have access to that medication, if you don't have access to that therapy, then the advice they're giving away there, I used to buy books to get that advice, and now you can watch it in a YouTube video. It's really incredible. It really is. Like, mental health, I think, is one of the biggest issues facing our world today, and how could it not be, with as angry as everybody is, as divided everybody is, as how everybody's struggling, and not all of us can afford medication, not all of us can afford therapy. And so thank God for these free resources, people like that who give it away. And I do want to remind you to be careful. There are plenty of people out there who will sell you a quick fix, some sort of snake oil bullshit. Take some ginseng biloba and you'll feel better within a week. If somebody tells you it's a quick process, they're probably lying to you. Don't give them money. Make sure the person that you're talking to is very qualified. But at the end of the day, be careful, but know that there's online resources out there. It'll never replace actual one-on-one therapy and actual medication, though. But it might help until you can get there. The other thing I wanted to talk about in this video is a discovery I made in therapy this week. And my therapist asked me why I cared so much about what other people think. And if you guys know me at all, if you followed my story over the last few years, you know I completely self-destructed based on what Reddit and Kiwi Farms and other YouTubers thought about me. And it was bad, man. I talked to a bunch of people I shouldn't have talked to. I responded to a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have responded to. Hell, I just straight up lied sometimes to try to get these people off of my back, try to give them an answer that I thought would make them leave me alone. Of course, it never did. It just made things worse. And I think most YouTubers and content creators, hell, just most adults know better, but I didn't. And we talked about why that is. And if you know me at all, it really comes down to one word, and that word is confidence, and my complete lack thereof. If somebody points a finger at me and says, hey, you're a narcissist, I will rush to therapy and talk to a therapist about that, because I need to know, am I actually a narcissist? I don't know. I genuinely don't even know. So somebody tells me that I'm a manipulator. I rush to therapy. Am I being manipulative? Do I have manipulative tools in my toolbox? How do I fix them? How do I get better? And it's so scary for me. It's so, because the one thing I don't want to do in the world is hurt other people. And sometimes, because I'm just a big dumb idiot, sometimes I do. And I hate that, man. I fucking hate it. So in this session of therapy, we talked about my toolbox. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like, your parents, everybody's parents, gives them a set of tools, right? They'll teach you how to function as a person, teach you how to function in society, how to resolve conflict, how to talk to people, how to pay bills, how to feed yourself, how to clothe yourself, how to do some really basic shit. I got none of that. I got none of that. And instead what I got was abuse and misery and torment and hellfire, and it sucked, man. And so when I was forced to be an adult for the first time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I winged it. I just guessed to the best of my ability. And I would ask other people, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And I relied on the responses for other people, because the tools I got were bad and broken. You know, instead of a shovel, I got a spoon, right? Instead of a fork, I got a baseball bat. And I'm trying to hit something to death with a baseball bat when I should be using a gentle fork on it instead. Does that make sense? And I had to completely unlearn every bad tool that was given to me and replace it in my toolbox. And I'm constantly afraid that there's more tools that are broken, that need to be fixed. And so I listen to what other people have to say about me, and I take it to therapy and I work on it, and I'm scared shitless. I'm scared shitless because, again, at the end of the day, my biggest fear in the world is hurting other people the way I've been hurt. I just won't do it. I just won't do it. That's why I didn't like being married. It's why it was a relief to get divorced. It's why I don't really do long-term relationships, if at all, and barely do them when I do, and try to find like a circumventing thing. You know, I did the sugaring thing for a while, and I don't want to get close enough to hurt anybody. I don't want to get close enough to get hurt myself, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm fumbling my way through it. I'm a lot more confident these days than I used to be. A lot of life experiences taught me a lot of things, but I still don't have any confidence in it. I really don't. And I'm going to have to earn that if I want to get better. I'm absolutely going to have to learn it. So that's the new focus for therapy. Hurrah! I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is something I've been working on ever since the trial, right? Feeling a little more confident about the choices I've made, and accepting the bad choices that I've made in my life, and owning them and talking about them, and just saying, you know what, I'm a big dumb idiot, but I'm trying to get better. And that's something I wasn't able to do a few years ago. I wasn't able to admit that I was an idiot and that I was making a lot of stupid mistakes. Couldn't even admit it to myself. And in fact, instead, most of the time, if you saw me on shows or podcasts or even my own YouTube channel, I was masking. I was trying to be somebody that I never have been, never was, hopefully never will be. I didn't like that person very much. I think that's another reason I lack confidence too, is because I've never really liked me very much. But I'm learning to. I'm learning to. I think there's way more good in me than there is bad. I think I'm probably a good person. I wasn't always. I hate 16-year-old me. Shit, I hate me from 2019. But part of building confidence is learning to forgive myself. So let's start with that. I don't know if you guys are interested in tracking my therapy with me through this. Like, I think when I have breakthroughs like this, I would like to come and journal it here and share it with you, and maybe you'll get a better understanding of me. Maybe you'll get a better understanding of yourself. Maybe I could serve as a good example on some days, but I'm also okay with just serving as a bad example and showing you what not to do. So if nothing else, learn these things about me. Don't be resistant to therapy. Give it a shot. Don't be afraid to walk away from a therapist that doesn't match you. Don't be afraid to take a different medication if the one that you're taking doesn't work. And learn to love yourself and learn to have confidence in your decisions, your actions, your choices, and the person that you are. I'm not saying be a narcissist. I'm not saying I'm the perfect person. I always change, always get better. But when you make those steps, when you make those changes, learn to love it, man. Learn to forgive. I think if I had done that a long time ago, I'd be in a lot better place now. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this. Until next time, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I will speak with you again soon. I am so drained. After therapy and everything else this week, I just want to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed. It's like 8 p.m. I'm still going to bed. Good night.